A film that was written, produced, and directed by local filmmakers has went to the Cannes film market in France. Central High School and U of L alumnus Remington Smith, along with his production, spent all last summer shooting his first feature film with local cast and crew. Joining me now are Remington Smith, Adama Abrason, and Maddie Weiner. Thank you so much for coming in. And honestly, when I was reading through the details of this, I was kind of shaking in my boots a little bit because I do not like the horror. I don't like any of that stuff, but it's so exciting to see local talent come through and get that international recognition. So LandLord, tell me about this film and how it all kind of came together.
Yeah, so this is a project I've been developing for a while. I think more people of late have known me for my documentary work, but I got into filmmaking because I love horror. And folks like George Romero showed that you can do something really interesting and honest, but through a genre lens. And so the film is about a black bounty hunter, played by Adama here, who moves into this apartment complex and then finds herself forced to protect this orphan boy from the white vampire landlord. And so the idea was, because I grew up in apartment complexes like this, I was like, oh wait, per vampire rules, they can't come in your house without being invited in. But what happens if a vampire owned your housing? Then they can come and go as they please. And I just hadn't seen a movie approach vampires in that way before, so that was kind of the genesis of the film.
That is really interesting, and we were talking off camera about how we don't really like horror movies, and you don't like it either, and then you played the lead. So how did that kind of come together, and what kind of sparked your interest in this?
Well, I got the opportunity to audition, and I was looking at the material, and I really just felt an instant connection to the storytelling, to the writing, and I went in, auditioned for it. It felt really great, and then I got the part, and it was really actually like a great time filming. We had fun every day, and I think when you're behind the camera, it doesn't feel as scary as when you're like watching it on the screen, for sure. And you know, knowing that it's really just pretend and just like enjoying the scenes every day was really just like how we got through it.
Yeah, and Maddie, you were co-producer on this, so what was your role in this feature film?
I basically just facilitated the logistics while they were busy making magic. I was making sure we had lunch and making sure that, you know, we had keys to all of the locations and stuff like that. So, you know, just helping out basically.
No. You kept the trains running on time so we could focus on shooting. So Maddie and our co-producer, Abby Van Andel, who couldn't be here today, they were just like instrumental in keeping us moving so that we could just like hurry up and keep knocking things out.
Because you only filmed for about a month, is that right?
We shot for 25 days. And for a first feature, everyone has commented on like what a luxury that is. And that was just based on fighting for the time that you need to make something well. And based on the things that I read about other people trying to tackle their first feature, they were adamant that you need to make sure you give yourself time. So I just fought for that. So,
and so it was filmed right here locally, is that right? So where all did you go?
We spent a lot of time in the Beachmont neighborhood, actually where I live now, and I grew up in the South Ends. And then there were only 2 days where we were out of town, but that was in Carlisle, Kentucky. And then what was the other one? Pleasureville, Kentucky. So it was all filmed in state. But by week 4, we were very fortunate. One of my actors commented, oh, the locations for this film have been great. And that's just because we're from here and spent a lot of time trying to find locations that weren't just a place to film, but they were real characters. So,
I think that's really was going to catch an edge on this, especially international attention. The Cannes feature film market, which is coincides with the Cannes Films Festival too. So how did that opportunity come about?
It was just like, it just kind of came across Remington's desk, like apply, submit your film to be in this market platform. And he was like, why not? Well, it worked out.
And so it's hosted by the Fantasia Film Festival, which is one of the biggest genre festivals in the world and where a lot of deals are made. And so it was a platform for genre films in post-production, but they don't have sales representation or distribution. So as I was editing LandLord, I was like, this seems like us. And then a few days later, they said, yeah, do you want to come? And I was like, are you serious? And when I talked with Anik, who runs the program, she was like, it was very obvious, bless her heart, she said, like, oh, this is a shoe-in. So we represented the U.S. as part of 6 other films. So it was kind of a crazy honor to be selected.
Wow, one of 6, and you're representing
the whole
America.
country.
No pressure, especially on your very first feature film.
I think for our first feature, when I look back at all the films that really inspired me, I'm really proud of what we were able to pull off. And then I buried the lead a little bit. I mean, when we were at Cannes, it just so happened that 2 directors that really inspired me had films there.
Wow.
And so I got a chance to actually meet Andrea Arnold, who did Fish Tank, which was a big inspiration and a drama. And then Sean Baker, who just won the Palme d'Or. Props, Sean Baker.
Wow.
Got a chance to meet him and say how much like his film The Florida Project meant to me. So it did really feel like kismet, things aligning. So.
Wow, that is so wonderful. Well, thank you guys so much for coming on. I can't wait to see it, even though I am kind of, a little scared, a little on the edge of my seat, but I am just so excited for you all. And I can't wait to see what's next for you guys, too.
I just want to say, too, I think the big thing that we need now locally is just like we need a grant for people trying to do their first feature film. Folks in New Orleans, their film festival or film society and the Austin Film Society offer these grants. So I think that would be great if we could do that and blaze a trail for other people in the state that are looking to make their first feature.
I 100% agree with you. So thank you all so much for coming in today. And so to learn more, visit landlordfilm.com.